Good morning. My name is Colleen. This is a day in the life of a freelance software engineer. My day starts at about 6:30 when my kids wake me up. I am here with them having some breakfast. Do you want to say hi?
Hi!
Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
I will check back in with you when my workday starts. So my workday starts at 8 a.m. when my babysitter arrives. I have 3 kids, one in full day school, one in half day nursery school, and one that is still home. So juggling all of that can be a little bit challenging. When I first started out, I was not making enough money to hire a babysitter. And so I was hustling to get work done late into the night, early in the morning, and during nap time. Having the freedom to have her here has really made a difference. Now that I have a good clientele and I'm making money, she has been a tremendous help. I am not one of those people that can work with my kids running around. I like quiet, I like intense focus with what I do. So that has really added to my productivity. I have 3 kids in a 3-bedroom house. So my office is in my master bedroom. I have a new MacBook Pro here that I work and a 27-inch monitor. It's kind of hard to appreciate how big that is on this video, but it's amazing. I love it. I thought about going to co-working space so I could meet more people, but I love my monitor and I think I would miss it too much. One of the things about freelancing is there's a lot more overhead than you would think. You think, hey, I'm gonna bill 40 hours a week at $100 an hour. I'm gonna be rich. But the reality is you're not gonna bill 40 hours in a week unless you're working 60. At least that's been my experience so far. There's a lot of overhead, especially as you're ramping up. I've been doing this for about a year. So although I have a pretty good backlog right now, I probably keep about a 3-month backlog of work. So I'm always looking for new clients and I'm always managing those clients. That's the other thing, because I have so many clients, managing them actually takes a little bit of my time. So this morning I'm going to start with checking my email. And I have a new client who has sent me a contract, so I have to read the contract and sign the contract. And that client has also sent me their GitHub repo, so I have to look at the code and see what kind of issues I need to fix. I've noticed, or one of the things about being a freelancer is you switch code bases quite often, and there's always a ramp-up time when you're learning a new code base, trying to identify the issues that you have been hired to solve. One of the really cool things about this is I see a lot of different styles. I see a lot of different gems used for different things. But one of the kind of frustrating things is it can slow you down a little bit because you do need that ramp up period for a new code base. So I'll start my day looking at that contract, checking my email, getting that signed. Then I'm going to have to go into my time tracking tool. I use Harvest. There's a lot of good ones out there, but I've been using Harvest. I've been happy with it. It provides time tracking and invoicing, and I will have to add this new client, and I will have to start billing hours. The thing you have to be very, very specific on when you are a freelancer is your hours. So you have to be very diligent in billing the correct hours to the correct client. And so I think having a time tracking tool works way better than trying to use Excel and a timer or something like that. So I signed the contract I told you I was going to look at, and I just cloned the new repo I'm going to be working on. While that was cloning, I hopped onto Slack to check in with my Slack teams. One of the organizations I work for is a contract basis, so I get a little bit of work from them every week, and we use Slack to communicate. I try not to keep Slack on all day because it can be distracting. So I cloned the repo and I am having problems. I can't even open the code yet. That's always really frustrating. A lot of times you'll see that. Sometimes they all use different versions of Ruby and Rails. I use RBEM to manage my version, so it's actually not a problem, but it does, it is a little thing. You got to figure out what they're using. Why isn't my gem file working? That kind of stuff. So that's what I'm doing right now. Like I said, I check in on Slack and everything is good. There are no updates for me. With the one company I contract with, I get paid when my pull request is merged. So I like to hop onto GitHub to see if there were any comments on my pull request and see what status that is in. And then I sometimes use the Pomodoro technique to focus depending on what I'm doing, which is 25 minutes of intense focus, 5-minute break. So I think I'm not going to start that until I can get the repo working properly. And once I get that and I'm really diving into the code, I'll start my Pomodoro. What do you say? Pomodoro timer. It's about 12 o'clock. I spent the morning getting set up with the new code base that I'm going to start working on this week, and also taking on some other issues for one of my contract clients. If you're wondering why I'm laying on the floor, it's because I use the Pomodoro technique, which is 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. So for those 25 minutes, I turn off my email, I turn off my Slack, and I try to focus. For my 5 minutes off, I do some yoga, and I do 10 push-ups. And then if I have time left over, I do some laundry. So I'm going to get back to work, and I will check in with you around lunchtime. Good afternoon. It's about 1 o'clock, so it's lunchtime. One of the things about having my toddler in my house while I'm trying to work is I have to stay out of sight while she is down here. So I sneak down here during nap time and get my lunch. I don't know about you, but one of the problems I always had working from home is I wouldn't make lunch, and then I'd get hungry, and then I was too lazy to make lunch, so I would just eat chips and salsa. But I've started making these mason jar salads. Doesn't that look delicious? And I eat them because they are super convenient. So I just dump this in a bowl and I can eat it. All right, I don't really break for lunch because time is money, and as long as I'm paying my babysitter, I want to be working. So I'll grab my beautiful salad, dump it in a bowl, and I will take it back to my little cave/office. It's about 3 o'clock and my babysitter just left, and I got my little one here up from her nap. Next, we are going to pick up my eldest son from school, and then hopefully we'll have some fun outside and get to enjoy the day a little bit, and probably check back in later. One of the biggest benefits of being a freelancer is having flexibility over my own schedule. So as I mentioned, I worked 8 to 3 today. It's about 4:30, and I brought my kids to the beautiful Norfolk Botanical Gardens, and they are playing on the world's biggest sand pile.
Can I tell them something? Hi, my name is Declan. I'm digging for a treasure that has candy inside it.
I'm back at my desk. It's 7:30 at night. I just put the kids to bed, and there's a lot of work I have to get done. I'm traveling the second half of this week for a conference, which is awesome, but being a freelancer, I bill hourly, so if I'm not working, I'm not getting paid. That means I have to put in some hours in the evenings to make up for the time I'm going to lose. Also, it's not as consistent as I used to think. I thought being a freelancer meant I could just take time off whenever I wanted. But the reality is you have a lot of clients that you work with continuously, and it's important to meet their deadlines and make sure you don't let them down in order to keep their business. So I will probably work here till, 9:30 or so, and then I'll go to bed. Thanks for watching. Bye.